feeling like I'm Akademiks. Can't ride away.
The Obama administration, after she didn't win, but she did get her chance to, fulfill what many people would see as the feminist goal. Your man became president. He can't run anymore. People thought he did good, but, when they give credit to the presidency, they give credit to the first lady, even though we don't know what she be doing. It's like they've been giving credit to, we like Michelle Obama as a role model, but we don't know what she does politically. But we give her credit because Barack was that guy, that nigga, one of us. I seen recently Trump was giving a State of the Union address. Everybody gave a standing ovation for Melania, which is his wife. And I'm wondering what the hell she done either. But it is the thing where it says that if greatness comes or emanates from a man, a woman that's standing next to him, what they say, behind every great man is a great woman. They love to siphon off the credit. I know, I'm on a monologue and a tirade, but just bear with me. This is why I've been doing a late stream. Just bear with me. I'm telling the story. So cool. The Epstein files has turned to shit. We don't know what's what. We don't know who the predators are. We kind of got some names, but they're like in the winds. We got to get to this Lex Wexner guy. He did a deposition. I got to go watch that. I want to watch it with y'all. He looks a little odd. Prince Andrews get arrested. Jay-Z hasn't been seen unless it's Super Bowl, and he just looks guilty as fuck. It appears that Trump might be playing. He got some shit going on where he may have made sure everybody clear his name. There's another thing coming out clearing his name. Bill Clinton cleared his name, and also Ghislaine Maxwell cleared his name. But Ghislaine Maxwell got a new prison that she could be in, which is super safe and cozy. So it's incentivized for her not to say anything. Bill Clinton, who, even though he's a Democrat and Trump's a Republican, Trump recently spoke out for him. Why y'all messing with him? And he comes out and he says, "No, I never seen her with Trump." Okay. All right. Maybe this is all real. Or maybe this is all everybody saying, hey, let's do the best what we could do with what's presented. I don't know. I just like to ask questions. So should you. So we've been wheeling. Okay. Venezuela, distraction. What? Y'all kidnapped the president? He was sleeping? Oh, that's crazy. What? Mexico? What the fuck? We talking about Cancun? Tulum? What? Y'all gave intelligence that killed El Mencho. El Mencho's like, what? He's like, what? Damn. Oh, that's a good distraction, I guess, right? No more fentanyl. No more fentanyl. No more fentanyl coming in the United States. Okay, all right, man. All right. Then out of the blue, out of the motherfucking blue chat, we get, and there was rumblings, so let me not say completely out of the blue. We get this.
A time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States.
Now, I hate to pause the President of the United States, but I got to. I know I'm not geopolitically the best, but I know media, and I know how people's minds work. It's the reason why I always tell people the most important part of, the media is so important because that's where people go to for their information. They go to for their interpretation. So I take my job serious. So I tell every rapper, don't even fuck with me because you get on my bad side. What do you think it's going to turn out to? But okay. Let me just go over what this nigga said. So Trump, after we kidnapped the Venezuelan nigga, we killed the biggest drug lord, this is what he told us. Venezuela is one of those people, they were dealing drugs. By the way, if you don't know, one of El Chapo's sons that's snitching already testified that they're plug. I kid you not, chat. I kid you not. El Chapo, look. He testified. Hold on. Or through his cooperation. I can't. El Chapo's son may testify against Maduro through the vetting of El Chapo's son, who's gonna tell. This is a video. Remember, I told you he was the demon. When they got to it and they said, listen here, you Mexican motherfucker, where was y'all getting some of this shit from? He just flat out said, the president of Venezuela, he just snitched on him. And yes, this guy's telling. Matter of fact, the whole El Chapo family telling. But they said, they told on this guy. You're like, what the fuck? So now we're trying to make, we're trying to make this make sense. So Trump tells us Venezuela is really evil. And they're like, illegitimate president or dictator is bad because he is like in an underneath way supplying drugs that's coming in the United States or looking the other way. Okay, I could buy that. He's evil, bad guy, war on drugs. Let's get this fucker. Okay, we got him. Got that nigga in 30 minutes. So now we looking at Mexico. Okay, they said, well, who y'all want from Mexico? Well, y'all got Chapo already. The other guy is like El Mencho. All right, we killed him. What? What the fuck? Wait. So y'all murdered the nigga already? Yeah, we killed him. So now this is the whole thing about the government telling us we're safer. So the niggas sending that's one of the plugs. And the biggest cartel leader, we arrested one and killed the other. We're safe now, y'all. Yo, we're safe, right? Then they come up with another fucking threat. What's the other threat? Iran. What the fuck? Nigga, what? I don't even know where Iran is, my nigga. But now this is what the president is popping up and telling us. Iran is the thing that's threatening us. What the fuck? Where's the stimulus checks at? Where's the shit we care about today in America? What's popping in Minneapolis? Let's talk about that. No. Let's talk about Venezuela, Mexico, and now, before we get to what's going on here, let's talk about Iran? Oh, hell nah. Listen how he's selling this.
States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder, targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries. Among the regime's very first acts was to back a violent takeover of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, holding dozens of American hostages for 444 days. In 1983, Iran's proxies carried out the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut that killed 241 American military personnel. In 2000, they knew and were probably involved with the attack on the USS Cole. Many died. Iranian forces killed and maimed hundreds of American service members in Iraq. The regime's proxies have continued to launch countless attacks against American forces stationed in the Middle East in recent years, as well as U.S. naval and commercial vessels in international shipping lanes. It's been mass terror, and we're not going to put up with it any longer. From Lebanon to Yemen and Syria to Iraq, the regime has armed, trained, and funded terrorist militias that have soaked the earth with blood and guts.
Okay.
And it was Iran's proxy, Hamas, that launched the monstrous October 7th attacks on Israel, slaughtering more than 1,000 innocent people, including 46 Americans, while taking 12 of our citizens hostage. It was brutal. something like the world has never seen before. Iran is the world's #1 state sponsor of terror and just recently killed tens of thousands of its own citizens on the street as they...
Okay, I got to stop it here. This is where y'all tune in. With all due respect, this is why Trump is also really effective. He's good at giving a story as well and leaving out the parts that we might not want to care about and giving us the part that make us feel we're doing the right thing. I want to give you the story of what's happened or what the whole thing is with Iran. At least from my, and I've taken a day or two to kind of really look into this history. I want to simplify, but I want to go in a little bit in depth as well. Essentially, the United States attacked Iran to cause what's called a regime change. It's the reason why we kidnapped Maduro, and after Venezuela, who ain't on shit, who's seen how much power we have, they're willing to basically, when we say jump, they say how high. They're more obedient than Pluto. When we start putting pressure on Mexico, and this is how, as much as people, like, sometimes we forget how much of an imperial bully we are because we're in the United States. I'm an American at the end of the day. But the reason why Mexico, when we start be like, yo, what's up? They go kill El Mencho. It's not because they wanted to do it. They didn't want us to go into their country like we did Venezuela. So they came back with, look, we could handle our own. Because it's embarrassing. What happened in Venezuela? Nobody could talk to the United States, period. We literally went in there, dick slapped y'all, took y'all leader out of his bed, killed all y'all men, and we got him in a jail in Brooklyn, nigga. That nigga gonna be there till we ready for him. You don't look like a country after that. You look kind of like pussy, straight up. So the idea is that Mexico, they don't ever want to get treated like that because they want to be seen as a sovereign nation. This is why they didn't like the fact that El Chapo homies flew El Mayo to the United States and handed him over, a war criminal, not war criminal, but a drug dealer, drug trafficker, without the government being involved. It's now a known thing. If the U.S. finds out or feels their government can't handle what y'all need to handle, we'll come into your country by force, nigga, and do it ourselves. But when we come into your country, your military either got to stand down or we going to give them a belt. We're giving them belt, straight up. So you're going to catch belt in front of all your constituents, and it's like the idea of you never want to get knocked out in front of your girl. You get knocked out in front of your bitch, the next time you raise your voice at her, she was like, you wasn't talking like that when Rocky pulled up. Oh, what? Huh? So Mexico don't want to get there. Venezuela, we bitch slapped already. Shut the fuck up, you bitch ass niggas. Straight up. Mexico ain't want to get there. They're like, oh, we'll work with y'all. Oh, whatever. They don't hate El Mencho like that. Now, granted, he's done some bunch of shit. Killed him. Shows the U.S. we can handle our business. But it's all what the U.S. wants. Straight up. Venezuela is a little bit deeper than just drugs. They were about to do some stuff with some of the people we don't fuck with. Russia, China. No. The beauty, and I'll say this before I get into the majority of it. I said the beauty of what we look at in geopolitics is that while we're reading news and watching these things and seeing these videos where, I think even now people are saying, are these AI? The fact that a Tomahawk missile has never dropped in Brooklyn, that's why we do it. We don't give a fuck about what's happening over there. We see it like, oh, their hotel's on fire? Oh, okay. Nigga, you know what happens when it's not even a military strike. First of all, a military strike is Pearl Harbor. We drop a bomb on them. Nuke. Straight up. Atomic bomb. You niggas are deformed for like 3 decades. Fuck out of here. That's what we do when we get attacked on this soil. I want to tell you how privileged we are. If Iran dropped a bomb in Queens, it would be game over. So we get to bomb their shit. Supposedly we bomb Iran, and there's a elementary school hit. Not too sure about it. Not too sure if it's always is confirmed. There's going to be a lot of politics with this because, governments are not going to want to confirm that they bombed the elementary school, but we bomb whatever of theirs. The reason why we have this demeanor towards freedom and also war is that we don't give a fuck when no bombs comes over here. If they ever dropped a bomb in Milwaukee, we would think differently. But it ain't gonna happen. So we get to basically bully everybody and not one. The only thing that might happen, you get some radical, Islamists from Iran come over here and do some bullshit. What are they gonna do? Hijack a plane? What y'all gonna do? Like shoot up a crowded thing? Yeah, that's obviously we don't want that. But you're not dropping. The thing is, and this is the thing about terrorism, it's about to terrorize people. When niggas is going to the market and they see a 2,000-pound bomb drop 15 miles over, but they could feel the after effects because it's that fucking crazy. Yes, niggas start moving a little bit different. That's how it goes. The moment there's ever a bomb that drops in Inglewood, California, I guarantee we as a constituents, we will look at war and meddling in other people's business very different. Trust me, I tell you. But it won't happen. Because we are the USA and we've taken so much precautions. So we kind of get to go around and we're dick slapping everybody. And essentially, we try to do it in a way where people can't get mad. So what happens? Trump announces we're into it with Iran. We drop a bunch of bombs on their supposedly military locations and strategic holdups that isn't supposed to affect civilian life, but it should affect the resources, the capabilities of these, military strategic Iran capabilities that could send them a lesson. Perhaps there's some casualties, but, with the technology these days, they could figure it out quick, evacuate people, and probably low amount of casualties. However, you destroy their bases. Keep in mind, you're gonna notice in the story, they got a big ass military base in Virginia. There's never a bomb dropping in Virginia. Never. They got a big ass naval base in San Diego. There ain't never a bomb dropping in San Diego. They got a big ass military base down in Texas or closer to. There's never a bomb dropping there. But we do this. We bomb their military bases in their country. And when they want to retaliate, they bomb one of our, third party outsource. Oh, it's our military base in Qatar. You got us. Oh, that really. They don't even know what Qatar is, nigga. Fuck out of here. The fuck? Oh, we got you in Qatar. Yeah, shut up, nigga. We bombed basically your White House. You bombed Qatar. Whoop-de-doo. That's how it works. So, we drop a bunch of bombs. Trump comes up there, USA hat, lets people know. I know what y'all saying to me. I thought it was Venezuela. I thought it was Mexico. What the fuck we got beef with these niggas over here? Let me give you an explanation of the history of USA and Iran. And by the time I'm done with my explanation, I won't even have to proceed because I think you're intelligent. With what ended up happening in the last 2 to 3 days, you're going to get the entire picture. So, I want to start. And again, I know it might be late for some of y'all, so, I want you guys to lock in here because we're going to go back on a deep history, okay? And I see some people saying that we're calling a spade, right? We're calling a spade. If you want me to say it, I'll say it out. I'll say it frankly. I believe that about 70% of the reason why we bombed Iran is because of Israel. That's a fact. In my estimation, from everything I've seen, we are fighting proxy wars for them. Remember, we were giving money to Ukraine. Really, we want to beef with Russia, but we ain't really there yet. So we fund Ukraine, and Ukraine got slaughtered a lot, but we funded them. Well, our babies, I can't even call them our bitch. Our babies is Israel. Whatever Israel got going on, we are so much up their ass. It's our beef now. So basically, Israel is like your little brother who talks all the shit in the world, and every time he go to school, you go to the playground, he tell everybody gonna smack the shit out of them, and when they step up like, what's up, smack me, nigga? And even if they get a slap, they run home to you, and you gotta go up there and you gotta beat everybody up. Get them back in line. We're US, your little brother is Israel. I don't know what the fuck secrets we got for these motherfuckers that we're fighting all their shit. But that's what's going on. So, here's the story. Iran. It's a very interesting place. I just want to make sure everything could be seen. Okay. A lot of these things are going to become important. Okay? A lot of these things are going to become very important. Okay. So the story of Iran and why we have tense relationships with them, and what you need to understand what the fuck is going on now, is not any of the propaganda you're going to hear, whether it's from President Trump, whether it's from Iran itself. Everybody's running propaganda based on trying to convince you that someone's a bad guy or someone's a good guy, and in reality, it's a really ugly, disgusting story. So here's the story. Back in pre-1900s, Iran, this place here, was actually known as Persia, okay? So Iran, this place, its original name is Persia, okay? What ended up happening, and if you follow the history of time, we hit the 1900s, and I want to say, remember, Iran is one of those places that they're overtaken by Arabs, by, people who believe in the Muslim faith, and that's kind of like all this region, right? Pretty much, right? I think with the exception of, let's see, where the fuck is India? I think India is like Hindu. I don't know, but like most of this stuff, it's like really Islamic, okay? And Iran is here. I'll point out, just for whatever, Israel is over here, okay? So Israel right here, Iran is here. It doesn't have anything to do with the beginning of the story, but it has to do with later and now. Geopolitics, and I know what you might say. Once again, if you've never seen this map, keep in mind the United States of America is right here, my nigga. We got an ocean here, and this is why people can't fuck with us. We got an ocean here. We got the biggest navy in the world. Ocean here and ocean there. Canada, there are bitches. And Mexico, there are hoes. Straight up. We're protected everywhere. Two oceans that we got the best naval game in the world. They can't come west of us. They can't come east of us. Canada, we fuck like top 5 might be the most militant nigga in Canada. We tell them what to do. Like, Canada, shut up. They don't tell us nothing. Mexico, shut up. Y'all don't tell us nothing either. Like, we run shit. Facts. Okay? So we are really in a unique position. We're in a position that is, and by the way, even our founding fathers knew about this. Like, we are protected by physical land masses or water or countries that we could have influence over that we will be safe from enemies. Keep in mind, we're the United States. Even when Venezuela down here acts up, we get them in line, and they far as fuck from us too. But we make sure we don't have no ops. Think about it. The USA has no ops. Cut the world in half. Right here. Cut it right here. Cut it right here. This is East. This is West. We're in the West. Everybody on the West gotta shut the fuck up. We run shit. Cuba will bitch slap you anytime. They've been playing games. We're gonna get to them soon. Dominican Republic, well, we own Puerto Rico. Jamaica, Guatemala, Colombia, Brazil, everybody, United States runs. We have no ops. If they act oppy, they get dealt with. Venezuela just acted oppy, kidnapped your nigga. Straight up. We don't have no ops in our part of the world. You think we gonna tolerate Argentina getting lit with us? Man, stop it, bruv. Nigga, we'll erase soccer. You keep fucking with us, nigga. What you talking about? Man, stop playing. We're not playing with these niggas, chat. I'm keeping it real with you. Chat, I might be saying this in a tone that is, comedic, but I'm telling you the truth. Nobody gives a fuck about Chile and Argentina. But matter of fact, South America, we don't give a fuck about till the World Cup. They got nothing going on. A bunch of forests and dumb shit. We care about Brazil for BBLs. That's it, nigga. That's it. The fuck? We don't give a fuck about them going on down here. Mexico, those are our bitches. Panama, we just renamed they shit. Nigga, man, we run the Panama Canal. That's our shit, nigga. Facts. Bullies. We bullying the scene. Canada, y'all niggas know what it is already up there. Y'all niggas know what it is. This is how we rock. So we run our side of the world. The other side of the world is a shit show. Nobody comes over here or is allowed to come over here. And if y'all come over here and try to get influence, for example, in a country like Venezuela, we kidnap their leader and we run shit again. And after we kidnapped their leader, we were looking around. Russia, you got something to say? China, what's up with you? You good? Cuba, we'll beat the fuck out of you too. Nobody got nothing to say. Everybody's like, yeah, well, we ain't say what happened over there. Yes, we the big dogs. That's what happens. So let's go back. So now we got Europe, Asia, and Africa. Okay. So let's kind of zoom back in. Okay. So now, Africa got their own shit going on. They're not trying to take over nothing. Most of Africa, if you don't know, historically was part of what's called, I believe, the Ottoman Empire. But back in the day, and we're back to this region, Iran, right here, was called Persia. I'm going to give you out some world history. They should have taught you this in school, but if they didn't, Big Ak is here to teach you. Big Ak is here to teach you. Take a shot with me, child. So the First World War happens in 1914. Everybody should know that, right? Y'all go to school. And if you don't know, that World War was between two, groups of countries. I believe it was the Allied and the Central Powers. Okay, I'll give you who's on either team. Okay, so that's the big World War, the First World War, right? For the Allied, we basically get France, Britain, Italy, U.S., and yes, even the Russian Empire was even with it at that point. We got Portugal, Belgium, Serbia, Romania. Japan even was down with it. And essentially, the people or the ops we were going at were Germany, Austria, and Hungary. They said the Ottoman Empire, but, they wasn't really on shit. But whatever. And Bulgaria. Even though, by the way, I should pull that back because the Ottoman Empire really is a really large region when you think about it in hindsight. Okay. So that's that's World War I. I'm going to tell you why. Everything's going to make sense. Just give me some time. I got to explain. I know I'm a little bit slow in getting to it. So that's the First World War, right? In 1914. Now, what's interesting and what you should know is, let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay. Now, Iran becomes a interesting place or interesting part of this particular world war. Okay? It becomes a place where it's needed for transportation, and it's going to be somewhat, not necessarily a battleground, but it's an important country. Okay? Because with all the countries that are involved, all up here, Iran stands to be a middle ground that you're going to need to transport shit. So what happens is that at the beginning of the World War, everyone declares what they're doing. Yo, I'm on this team. I'm on this team. Iran says, we are neutral. We neutral. You know, we could be cool with them. We could be cool with them. Whatever. Now, what happens is that essentially Iran gets invaded by everybody because they're neutral. And what I mean invaded, the countries that know they're neutral, that know they're not the ops, want to get parts of them. Why? That they could, utilize certain strategic parts of Iran for their mission of winning this war. Who gets there? So essentially, when it comes to Iran, the British and the Germans, they both kind of start occupying strategic parts of Iran to make sure they could get their transportation shit. They could, because remember, this is a war. You got shit going on. So both of the opposing parties, the German and the British, they've occupied this place. As it would have it, Iran, at that point, start to kind of be a little bit political. Now, I got to explain a little bit more about Iran too. Because this is like a kind of Islamic region, like this whole down here. Iran it's useful for two things. So back when in 1914, like the early 1900s, when the British came in, they found out something really dope about Iran. And this is going to tell you everything you need to know, chat. They find out that Iran is really rich with oil. Really rich with oil. Okay? And what happens is the British are in here and the Germans are in here, and ultimately the British end up kind of still having that influence. Let's go past the First World War. The British then see a lot of use for Iran in terms of oil. Okay? Now, they start oil companies that historically didn't favor the people of Iran. It's like what Britain has done to many different countries and shit. I'm not saying United States, but maybe what we'll do at one point. We go to your country. You know how they were saying Venezuela is oil rich, but they're like, the oil, they don't know how to take care of it. Yeah, but if you go there and you say you own all the oil and now you're selling it, how much percent they get? So we go there and apparently they're getting less than 20% of their own oil. Well, now us, the British, go there. So British stay there after the World War. and they start really working on the oil. So it goes from this really important landmass that you need for war to now this is a place where oil is rich. Britain is there and they're fucking loving it. They're loving it, chat. They're motherfucking loving it. Okay. The next thing you have to understand about Iran is this. Is that there's always this turmoil among the Iranian people that out of everybody in the country, in the region, the way their country acknowledges and respects and treats religion seemingly is not as staunch as maybe other countries. We all know when it comes to the Islamic religion and how it relates to sometimes even law and government, it's interesting when you look at certain countries. In certain countries, they have certain laws like Sharia law and this and third that says, hey, what is said in the Quran or whatever is what we will abide to in society. So religion controls their society. Iran is one of those places that have been a little bit malleable, and that's where the majority of their problems have started. So we get to find out, okay, so this is going on, right? Essentially, protests, and again, I know I'm being slow with all this, but you're going to understand it. So the First World War is done after like, what year is that? It's done like by 1920. Britain's there, they're establishing oil relationships or whatever. Over time, the people of Iran doesn't like, and also some of the leadership of Iran doesn't like that relationship with the British anymore. They're saying that we have the oil and we're giving and paying and we're getting less than 20% of all the profits and it's going all to the British, okay? What ends up happening is that the rule of Iran at that point becomes a little bit more radicalized, because what happens when people get upset, they go for radical change or radical, options. So at that point, it was either the Shah, and I'm gonna explain some of these things afterwards. The Shah or the supreme leader, I think it was the Shah at that point. I believe it was the Shah. And I'll explain quickly. So a Shah is more like it's like an emperor, but it's still like political. It's like a monarch. A supreme leader is more of a religious leader that basically it's more familial, because you're saying this person God has sent to da-da-da-da. You get what I'm saying? So you're going to hear two things constantly go back and forth. One's a Shah, which is like an emperor, and the other one is like a supreme leader. And I'm going to show you how they balance between both of them. So there was a Shah who's like now kind of listening to the people. The people are like, yo, we don't like how the British are finessing us. And they come up with, well, it's our oil, it's in our country. What we're going to do is we're going to nationalize the oil industry. And they nationalize the oil industry, what basically fucks over the British. The British doesn't like it. And they realize that the country that they have had so much control over or had so much influence over, they have lost it. And now it opens up Iran to sell oil and do whatever business with the ops of not only Britain, but America and whatever else. Okay? And what becomes important is that in so the Second World War happens too. And then in 1953, the U.S. goes in with Britain. So Britain, when you hear Britain, we're talking about the UK and shit like that. The British wants their oil. At that point with the U.S., we weren't thinking oil, but we're thinking strategy because, we're whatever. And at that point, we in Britain used to be like how we are with fucking Israel these days. But that's how we used to rock. So Britain is like, yo, these niggas is playing with the oil. Like, yo, their leadership not rocking with what we originally told them to rock with. So the CIA and British intelligence go in the 50s. And what they do is they do a regime change. You're going to notice exactly what we're trying to do now. Why was it done then? Strictly, well, they're going to say there's other things too, mostly because of the oil. There's a few things about a coup. You might see it in modern text or people talk about it, a coup d'etat. A coup, you want to supplant the leader, leave it vacant, and have opposition or the oppressed take leadership with them understanding you're the reason that the reigning power got out of there and they'll be your bitches. We're trying to do that in Venezuela. Hey, y'all said this nigga didn't want to do elections? He's an illegitimate president? You have to wait until the people are like, fuck Maduro. This is why when we go kidnap the nigga, his own people are celebrating. They're like, yes, they got him out. We're like, what? The fuck, nigga? We drop bombs on y'all. They're celebrating. Why? A coup, especially when it's influenced by a different nation, we got to wait. So sometimes I don't know if you guys ever watch Homeland. You got to send some stuff into fuel. Like, they'll even finance protest. You want to fuel political chaos. Oh, the people are unhappy. Remember. So now, how does that happen back in Iran in the 50s? Yes, they nationalize all of these things, but based on some of the regime, mantra that's get pushed over, and then obviously the countries that are allies, they're not fucking with Iran as much anymore. The people are upset at their living quality. They're upset at what's going on in society. When that happens, the USA and the British, USA through our CIA, we essentially supplant, okay? We do a coup, and we topple their leadership, and we, when we do these things, we don't be like, hey, you're going to go get, Hillary Clinton as we're like, no, we don't want nothing. How about y'all fuck with this guy that y'all didn't like before y'all ostracized? So the U.S. supported, okay? The U.S. supported a Shah that we kind of fuck with to rule Iran. And he successfully ruled Iran after that point. Okay? Now, there's a lot of things happening, a lot of moving parts, because the British, they don't seem too much interested with Iran beyond oil at that point. But we U.S., we're looking at it a lot as strategy. So cool. And this is where you guys make sure you're paying attention. So the United States we topple their government, right? By the way, this was admitted later on too by CIA and British, sources. They're like, yo, we did do it because these niggas weren't acting right. We toppled their government. We put the government we wanted. So we put the Shah. The guy name is Shah Mohammed Reza Pahlavi. Let's see if I could pull him up. I don't even know if there's a name of him or a picture of him. Mohammed Reza. This is him. Good. So this is the guy that America likes. We got him. Remember, one of the things with Iran is that they're in a Islamic region, and through this guy that we get to be the new Shah, the new emperor, we get to push through all type of Western culture ideas. Oh, this is how you should live. No. Wait, y'all do what? No. In the West, this is how we live. Notably, they say in the time, and this guy ruled until 79, where I'll tell you what happened in 79. they're saying you would see a lot of American influenced things in Iran. Coffee shops. You would see the American way of life could be seen. America considered Iran at that point one of our biggest assets in the region. It's our biggest allies. We told them if anybody else fucks with y'all, we got them for you. Does that sound familiar? We told them that. As long as your Shah listens to us. So this guy, he's listening. He's listening. Here's the problem. And this is, if you don't listen to anything, what I'm saying today, this is the problem of Iran that will always repeat. Anytime the U.S. approaches or interacts or interferes with what goes on in another part of the world, innately through their religion, through their tradition, they do not accept Westernization. They do not want what we think they want. They don't want their bitches. Like, for example, I'm going to give you an example. We ain't get there yet. This guy is going to be one of the people who allow women to do certain things. When he gets toppled later, they take back all them rights. In those parts of the world that they abide mostly by religious doctrine, they don't want to hear what's popping in America. Oh, y'all got trans niggas like doing this and third. You got 5 bathrooms. They don't want to hear it. They've been telling us they don't want to hear it. If y'all want to call he, she, they, them, what's your pronoun type fuckery, they don't want to hear. They've been saying that for the longest. So when you push Western ideals on them, it's only so much they could take. So we're still in 53. We get the Shah we want. They're having a better quote unquote way of life. It's more, there's modernization. I might have fucked up that word. It's a lot more modern stuff, a lot more technology. It's a Westernization type of life that's happening now in Iran. A lot of people in Iran don't like it. Their religious ideals say certain things are intolerable. Certain things are birthrights. Certain things are by the doctrine of their person that they support. Also in the region, people don't like it either. People don't like it. I'll give you some of the things that starts to happen. For example, when was Israel founded? Israel, the state of Israel, was officially established in 1948. I'm going to show you some of the differences between Iran and its Islamic neighbors. When Israel gets created or established in 1948, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, Afghanistan, all these other places say, man, fuck Israel, man. We ain't recognizing that bullshit. That's not nothing, man. Everybody refused to acknowledge Israel in the region, except Iran. Why? Iran, they're in bed with us. That's our homies. So if we fuck with Israel, they gotta fuck with Israel. What does that do? The regions or the countries around Iran is like, man, what's up with y'all? Y'all like American bitches. Like, yo, what's up? Y'all like puppets. We're not fucking with y'all like that. It gets a little tense. It gets a little tense, y'all. It gets really tense. The Shah ends up ruling until 1979. Essentially, Iran is cool with the United States. They rule on that particular Shah, okay? What was his name again? Shah Mohammed. Yeah, right here. He rules until 1979. I'll tell you why his rule gets toppled. Because, again, here's the inherent problem with a place like Iran. the people there are innately divided. Some of them look at the internet and they look at other things and they see how life is in the West and they're like, well, maybe that's how life should be. We're oppressed. And a lot of them say, we reject life in the West and we like what we got, which is this imperial rule, but on the doctrine of our religion. And this is where you realize the country constantly flip-flops based on what information they get. I'll tell you a little bit more about, because of that, how much they control information. So, for a good 25 years, the Shah, this guy, is ruling and the U.S. is cool with him. But his people are starting to get upset. Even though they have Americanized ideals that's starting to float in, they can't really start to protest. It was said that this guy had secret police that would make sure there wasn't political, disruption. And by the way, you got to remember, this is the thing with every emperor or king. To some extent, you have to appease the people and the people will get mad. And at some point when you're the king, they will say they want the king dead or they want a new king. And how you get rid of the old king, you got to kill him. So this is why the only monarchs that last now are for example, when you think about the UK, the prince but the king and the queen don't do nothing. They have enlisted a parliament to run the country. They have saved their royal bloodhood, and they keep power they keep monarch power that they could overstep when they want to, but they kind of create a checks and balances with the parliament, which the people could vote. So they save royal bloodhood. It's going to last forever. As long as them kings and queens keep having kids, there's always going to be a king of England. But they give a parliament. Oh, yeah. Which is basically hey, that's y'all Congress, but we still run the Congress. We just won't usually say nothing because we want to go with the people. The people get less mad about that because they feel like they're making the decisions. But in most other places where it's a dictatorship or this and third, I could definitely specifically point to Cuba. Situations boil so much with Cuba a lot of times. Fidel Castro had no choice other than creating laws or allowing people to do mass exoduses. So he would say, hey, you're not a traitor if you leave the country between these dates. Why? His way of maintaining power was not trying to fight the people who would later protest. And yes, he's a dictator, so you could kill him. But he was like, let them go to America. This is why most Cubans that vote for Trump, their ideology is anti it's anti what's going on in Cuba. Right? It's anti what's going on in Cuba. That's why they vote for Trump. And that's why all those people went to Miami. So Florida has a lot of Cubans, but it's the ones that were allowed to leave who mentally, they weren't down with that dictatorship. So when they get to another country, they vote for what mentally they already are into, which is usually conservative shit, honestly. Limited government, this and third. I don't know if you guys know that. Okay? But Fidel Castro would allow the people to leave. I'll tell you what happens when you don't allow people to leave and you just keep ruling them. You could go to Haiti. They killed the leader over there. To this day, they haven't figured out who killed the leader. Imagine a president getting killed. You don't know who killed him. But that's what happens when you're almost being like a dictator. And eventually over time, hatred forms so much, there's going to be opposition. And they're going to realize for us to really take power, we got to kill you. So Cuba did the thing, we'll let you go. Haiti didn't. They killed that guy. Okay? When it comes to Iran, what ended up happening is that in Iran, it was interesting. The Shah is listening to the United States, but he's trying to make sure he keeps politically everything going on. When there would be protests, supposedly he had a secret police. He would do stuff. He would lock people up, but really he was just trying to keep the rule under the U.S., advisory, let's say that, going on for as long as possible. Okay? What ends up happening is that, again, as I said, all of these things, the pressure gets to a point where you can't hear nothing else. There's a point as well where there's some protesters that go up to try to protest this guy. And his army, because the army actually reports to the Shah, his army killed a bunch of protesters. According to the Shah army, they say they killed like 80 people. The people who, or the group that represented the opposition, they claim it wasn't 80, it was 4,000. I'll show you real quick. Shah. So on the September 1978, Black Friday, under him, they opened fire on demonstrators in Tehran. Okay? The initial reports suggest 1,000 deaths. Modern estimate says between 64 and 100 people. Okay, so they're saying the opposition was gassing. Regardless, people protesting got killed. Now, you have to imagine people's livelihoods are at stake here, people. Like, they're upset. They're fucking upset. And what ends up happening is that the protests get bigger and bigger. The opposition gets stronger and stronger. And this guy is forced to flee Iran. He's forced to flee Iran while all of these protests are going on. Later on, they try to have a good excuse for him. They claim he had cancer and that he was going to get treated. And ironically, where did he go? The United States. But he basically got ran out of his own country. That's it. We're getting to the good stuff. Don't worry. So who took control? Now, the person who took control is someone named hold on. No, it's not him. Sorry. Okay. So this is a dude that basically okay. This is the guy who we now find out who just got killed. He took control, essentially. Okay? Since 1979. So the Shah, they ran him out of the building. Get him out of here. And the person who stepped up for the opposition was this guy named Khomeini. I'm probably fucking up his name. He became the supreme leader of Iran from 1989 until his assassination this year. So essentially, for 37 years, he has ruled. For 37 years, he has ruled Iran. Let me give you a little bit difference. And again, I'm keeping it on the surface level. It gets a lot deeper here. This guy isn't a Shah. He's considered a supreme leader. And a supreme leader in how it's considered in Iran is the supreme leader of the Islamic Revolution. Okay? It's the head of state and the highest political and religious authority. Now, there's usually a supreme leader, but the Shah usually does a lot of stuff, but they got rid of, or they pretty much demoted damn near the Shah, or got rid of it at a time when the dude left, and they let the supreme leader run shit. Now, what does that mean? Remember I told you the Shah was basically trying to modernize, westernize Iran, right? Once you go back to the supreme leader, which is the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, right? He's back on some shit like, no, we got to follow the fucking Quran. Fuck all this bullshit. Fuck the bitches who could vote, who could do that. No, I don't even think vote, but the women had some rule. I should Google it. He took it back immediately. Fuck all that. He ain't got time for that shit. Revokes women. Like, he was on timing. Yes, he enforced strict policies against women, framing hijab. Yo, we need hijabs all around the place. And he gave harsh penalties if, women weren't doing certain shit. Okay, force hijabs, cover or suffer. You gotta, whatever. He says he described Western women as symbols of consumerism and instruments of sexual excitement. He says that if you were without a hijab, that's a sin. Yeah, all good. So that's how he came in. So all that Westernization shit we were trying to push over there, fuck that. They said fuck out of here with that bullshit. So now Iran is back on Iran timing. Ironically, the U.S. gets the Shah who ran away, right? He went to some country, then he came to the U.S. Iran says, we need this motherfucker back over here because he did some war crimes. We need him back. Clearly, they were trying to murk him. They were trying to behead him, send a message. And the U.S. refused, which is, this is where the conflict starts. The U.S. refused to send this guy back to Iran. And that was a huge problem because they're saying, why are you not sending? Hey, we could still be cool because after, remember, USA is not doing nothing directly. So when they get this guy out of power, Iran and USA are friends. But really, we only friends because of this one guy, because he's our puppet. When they get him out of power, they're like, hey, aren't you our friends? Hey, could you send back that guy? We need him. We stopped dealing with Iran because really we know we can't control this guy. Right? We can't control him no more. So we stopped dealing with Iran. Iran's like, no, we want him back here. USA says, no, we send him to Egypt or some shit. Like Egypt holds him down. You know what I mean? And we basically kind of wash our hands of because we're great at throwing a stone and hiding our hands. We're like, what? What happened? So now this nigga is running shit. He's saying we gonna get these bitches in line. We on some Quran bullshit. Not bullshit, but I know some of y'all are whatever. What I'm saying is he's not with none of that other shit, man. None of that Western shit. You feel me? The thing with sometimes when you get people so upset, and by the way, I feel like it's happening in the United States somewhat right now with Israel. I think a lot of people are upset at Israel. They're trying to make everything anti-Semitic, but no. There's certain people that they're upset that Israel feels like it controls us. That's how Iran was feeling, but it was way more oppressive to them. How they were feeling when they felt the U.S. had a bunch of puppets just doing shit in Iran for the U.S. purposes. That's starting to happen in the USA, but it's very different because you could protest, you could do whatever, and honestly, most of the powerful people they're aligned with, whatever. Anyway, so cool. So this guy's running shit, and the American sentiment in the country becomes piss poor. Remember, they're mad. For 30 years, the USA had a puppet in their country. They're mad. So Iran people don't like us right now. He announces he's going to be doing business and deals with people who aren't our friends. So we're like, oh shit, this is breaking. What ends up happening that kind of severs this relationship irrevocably is that the people of Iran are so mad that the USA had occupation damn near of their country for decades that they don't want nothing associated with the USA in their country anymore. That Iran students storm the U.S. Embassy in 1979. November 4th, 1979, over 300 students stormed the embassy. They took 66 Americans as hostage. We tried to negotiate for them being released, and it didn't really work. We tried to rescue them, and it didn't really work. As much as you talk shit about Trump, you got to give him some credit. We haven't heard of the severe fuck-ups when it comes to military. Because when we just hear, oh yeah, we just kidnapped this motherfucker, we killed all his troops, did any Americans die? Not one. What the fuck? Oh, we killed Elemental, did any Americans die? Not one. Oh my God. We don't catch L's? Back when they captured these, they captured the 66 American hostages at the embassy, we sent in a team to go get them. Our plane crashed before it could get there. We ain't get them. So we failed. Helicopter crash. Iranian hostages. Just put rescue. Yeah, this is what it's called. Operation Eagle Claw. We went to go get them. It was ordered by Jimmy Carter. It was a Delta Force, blah, blah, blah. As they prepared, okay, so here we go. Planning preparation, you see all this shit. And essentially, here we go. All right, it's too much words. Let me chat GPT, come on. Operation Eagle Claw, Iran crash. It'll tell us here. Thank you for AI. So we send in a mission, and it ended in disaster at a remote site called Desert One in Iran after the helicopter failure and intense sandstorm. We weren't prepared for the terrain over there. The helicopter collided with a refueling aircraft, and it killed 8 of our servicemen. Okay? After that, we basically aborted mission. The mission was aborted, and there was 5 bodies left behind. We left 5 helicopters and even 5, well, not 5, but classified documents. It was a failure. A failure. By the way, that's the reason why we got SOCOM afterwards, because we realized we need special operations, mission type of stuff, and we weren't prepared for it at the time. So we lost, or we called L. Eventually, they did return the 52 people. Okay? The 52 people did get returned. They were returned willingly. But it was mostly because, again, Iran and the United States, we're the bullies, but like we've been playing this interesting game. We can't act like we're innocent and just bully him when we could. There's proof that we've fucked with their elections. But we've overthrown their government. We've done mad different things. Okay? We had bombed one. There's mad different things happening. So we can't play victim. So when it comes to hostages, we got to play different. We can't beg him either. And we can't threaten war because whatever. So what ends up happening is that around that time, the U.S. starts to back their neighbor. Their neighbor is Iraq. And we start backing So at that time, there's an Iran-Iraq shit going on. And we realized, remember, Iraq never used to like the fact that we were fucking with Iran. But, bro, in the Middle East, we don't give 2 fucks. Like, we don't like, nigga, the truth is, here's the truth. You ever seen the joke where you ever seen the joke that Dave Chappelle said? Be like, yo, Coke and Pepsi try to offer me a deal. He's like, yo, basically, nigga, Coke and Pepsi taste the fucking same. I don't give 2 fucks. Whoever got the money, I'm gonna go with. Nigga, we don't give a fuck about none of them niggas in the Middle East. Whoever gonna listen to us and be our bitches we care about. Straight up. So we were rocking with Iran till they stop wanting to be our bitches. Then we look at Iraq. What's up with y'all? We don't give a fuck, right? So Iraq invades Iran, and the U.S. adopted a policy to support Iraq. So we started supporting the niggas who's beefing with our former homies. Remember, when we were fucking with them, Iraq was scared. Iraq ain't even like it. Like, man, you fucking with them American niggas. I don't like that shit. But when they stopped acting like they cool with us, Iraq was popping with y'all. All these motherfuckers broke anyway. So, like, they're like, oh, shit, yeah, no, we'll fuck with y'all. So we helped Iraq and gave them billions of dollars worth of economic aid, technology, because we want to fuck up Iran. Because Iran at this point, they're trying to make themselves the center of the Arab or the Arab world, but they're doing it in a way where they're like, fuck Western or America ideals. We're going back to Islam, nigga. You feel me? Yeah, all right. So anyway, we gave them helicopters, all type of shit. Let's get to, okay, here we go. However, this designation was removed, Of particular interest for contemporary Iran relations is a conspiracy alleging that U.S. actively encouraged Iraqi president. Come on. I don't even know if that's a conspiracy anymore. We encouraged Saddam Hussein to invade Iran following the Islamic Revolution. Proponents of the theory, particularly the Arab world, asserts that there's evidence that the U.S. government have greenlit Saddam's intention to launch a campaign, but no direct documentary proof. Okay. So essentially, we start supporting their neighbors. All right? Iran, y'all on some bullshit? All right, fuck it. We cool with Iraq now. Fuck y'all niggas. We cool with Iraq. That's what we doing. Iraq is the homies. We rock with them. Right? Chat, this shit is bullshit. No, we ain't say China broke. Like, we saying these, it's not even broke, honestly. It's like, we're just more powerful than them, right? Like, all their resources, like, we have. And we have way more resources than them. Like, so we could stifle them. Also, our economy is one of the things that make us so rich. Not necessarily just money. Because if we ever tell the rest of the world, if y'all fuck with this one country, it's called sanctions. You fuck with this one country, we won't fuck with y'all. People will stop fucking with that country. You could starve them. You could bleed them. We did that to Cuba. You ever go to Cuba? Cuba don't have a modern car to save their life. Cuba has antiquated technology because we put embargoes and sanctions on them to say if anybody works with Cuba, you'll never work with the United States. So people, we're going to pick United States or Cuba. So Cuba is on our side of the world, but they got old cars from the 60s. You think you're going to find a G-Wagon in Cuba, nigga? You think your little Hyundai going to work there? Your little Cybertruck? No, nigga. We fucked them up. That's power. Anyway. So now y'all are getting it. Right? So the U.S. starts supporting Iraq. Let's fuck them up over there. Okay? And that happens and it continues. Now, obviously, there is again, when people not listen to us, we flip on them. That's how we work in the Middle East. We want complete bitches. We don't want nobody thinking for themselves. We want complete bitches. So in 2003, even though we were supporting these niggas in the 90s, we're supporting these niggas in the 90s to go with Iran. In 2003, we say fuck Iraq too. Fuck Iraq. Fuck them niggas over there, right? So we went from working with Iran for like decades. Then they want to switch up to like, yo, they don't want no Western rule. Like, what you mean you don't want no Western rule, nigga? All right, fuck you then. We over here with Iraq. Then Iraq is basically on some shit like, they're cool with us. We're giving them money, supplying them, teaching them how to kill niggas. Yeah, fuck up them Iran niggas for us. That lasts for 10 years. And then we got to get at them. Now, this happened in March 2003. Now, according to the president, George W. Bush at the time, it said that we had to disarm Iraq of weapons of mass destruction. Now, this is where some of the things you might care about come into play. There's this idea of weapons of mass destruction. And remember I showed you this map once again, chat? Here's the map. We're the United States here. Canada, that's our bitch. Mexico, that's our bitch. And over here, these are hoes. Nobody fucks with us in our hemisphere. Over here, they got all type of problems. All type. They got like, a lot of genocide going on in Africa, a lot of, it's a lot of like infighting that's been going on for generations and generations. Up here, they've went through not only world wars, but they've went through a lot of regime understanding and border respectful with territory, because now, everybody's like, the thing with Europe and even going into Europe and Asia is like, everybody's like kind of like right next to each other. Like you look at it, it's like if German was doing all these crazy things, well, they're kind of close to France and United Kingdom's right there. Then you got Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. Finland's right there. Romania's right there. Italy's right there. Spain's right there. Think about this. Portugal used to be a superpower in the world. So Portugal's here, Spain's here, United Kingdom's here. All those used to be superpowers in the world. France is this thing, and then Italy is whatever. So when you think about all of those things, you get to realize there is a lot going on. See, France at one point had a fascist. No, not France. Italy had a fascist leader, okay, Mussolini, and obviously there was the USSR, USSR used to be this region that's kind of like all over here, but it's not the whole Russia. It's kind of odd. I don't want to get into all that, but I'm trying to tell you the point. So we're at 2003. I'm getting there. Don't worry. So 2003, Bush tells us, this is after 9/11, right? Keep in mind, 9/11 happens. All them little terrorists, them little bum-ass niggas over there was like, oh, fuck all that. I don't care what you say, nigga. Like, them niggas was on some shit like, yo, we only knocked your towers down because y'all fucking with us. And, like, a lot of what they were saying was leave us the fuck alone, right? Type shit. But we were saying, nah, y'all are doing blah, 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 blah. We not, like, it was kind of odd, right? But that's their thing. They're like, yo, we're doing this. Like, we got to bring terror onto y'all for y'all to realize that what we're doing, we're fighting holy wars. So we keep hearing this thing about the holy war. All right, nigga. So once that happens, we the U.S., we're like, all right, y'all want belt? All right, fuck it. Belt it is. Who want belt first? Afghanistan. Belt. Caught him. Belt. Straight up. So we give Afghanistan belt. We're looking around. Who else want fucking belt? Nobody fucks with the United States. We're giving out belt as a motherfucking breakfast treat. Who else want belt? Any other country that buck, Pakistan, they realize they full on bitches. So they're like, no, we don't want belt. All right, well, play nice, nigga. They ended up working with terrorists later, but like under the ground, like, but nigga, we flew into Pakistan and killed Bin Laden. Like, so we bullying the scene now. So now y'all did 9/11. See, that's what I told you. If a bomb ever drop in Brooklyn, it's game over. Nigga, they knocked down 2 fucking towers in New York City, and we start applying instant belt. Belt galore. All right, Iran, what's popping with y'all niggas? Yo, matter of fact, we don't even hold up, man. I think y'all supporting, because what happens is these countries, remember I told you, they're driven by religion. With religion, you always get the extreme portions of it. So you get these other groups that kind of pop up, and they're more extreme or radical in how they view religion in the world. And what happens is, like, it's kind of like how people say with Trump and the Proud Boys, right? Like, the Proud Boys, they're like racist niggas who fuck with Trump. Trump ain't gonna say fuck the Proud Boys. He gonna look the other way until they go too far, right? Supposedly. But it's the same thing with Iran and them places. Like, they know, like, about the Taliban and all these other places. They be like, wait, what happened? Like, that's the type of time they're on. So the difficult part of what the U.S. had to deal with, we got to go into these countries and say, yo, are y'all supporting or looking the other way while these fucking terrorist regimes are cooking up and infiltrating maybe our nation, because now we feel vulnerable? Bomb the fuck out of Afghanistan. Anybody who's not giving us real answers, we're getting that. So we get to Iran, and we get to, Iran already knew what's up. So we've been looking at them like, yo, nigga, we can't wait to fuck y'all niggas up for real. Iraq, we basically start looking at, and the ironic part about it we started to fund the president, Saddam Hussein, and all of their military stuff and train their fucking people. That's how this supposedly even Bin Laden gets trained, right? Like the idea behind this Bin Laden nigga. You know, Bin Laden was a bum ass nigga who real talk. We gotta call these things what they are. Like Bin Laden was like a bum ass nigga that supposedly got trained by the United States, right? Let me see. When did Bin Laden get... Okay, well, they're saying it's a myth. But, again, you're not going to see these things really come out, but the idea is that Bin Laden and them kind of got, some support. Just like you're not going to see with Elemental. Like, they got support previously. So now, when we support them, like, this is rule number one for America. If we giving you guns, we supporting you with your bullshit, it's for you to kill them other niggas. Like, bro, kill all them niggas you want. Don't ever bring that shit to Brooklyn and Manhattan, man, my nigga. Like, what the fuck? Yo, you can murder any of them niggas over there. You bring that shit over here, it's war. You feel me? So it's like, when they're doing all this Afghan shit, we don't give two fucks about what's going on in the Afghan, nigga. Like, good luck, nigga. Like, good luck. Peace out. We'll come through when y'all all dead and we'll grab y'all oil. Deuces. Straight up. That's how we taking it. So when these niggas is like a little bit, they're now advanced and they realize they got to strike at America because, we the bullies. We start giving belt to ass. Afghanistan, you got to catch it. Pakistan catches it real quick too. Then we go to Iraq. Now, this is the interesting part about it, Chad. While we have good reason to be like, what's going on in Iraq? A lot of the reason people start noticing, and this is where this comes into play, chat. Why the fuck we give a fuck about Iraq? And then this fucking country right here, which we can't seem to forget, it start coming into play. It's Israel, nigga. For whatever reason, because remember, we're applying belt. Low key, we should have gave the whole region belt. Everybody. Yo, listen, I'll come from Jamaica, so the teacher used to beat us. I don't know if y'all know about that. The teacher used to beat us. Like, ain't no, timeout. Oh, you get detention. The teacher take off his fucking belt. Hey, everybody line up. Put your hands out. Yo, everybody catch the belt. Straight up. So what we really should do is giving everybody in the region a belt, but we start selective politicking. All right, well, okay, well, this person, fuck that. Anyway, the point is, Israel got some other shit going on in the region too. Remember I told you they never acknowledged Israel. So Israel got his own thing popping. And at that point, Israel, remember we armed these niggas in Iraq. It now becomes beneficial for us to disarm these niggas because they're getting too powerful in Iraq compared to what Israel got going on in the whole region. So what do they come to us with? We hear the infamous speech. George Bush, weapons of mass destruction. Oh my God. Y'all remember this bullshit? Listen to this shit.
I take the threat very seriously. I take the fact that he develops weapons of mass destruction very seriously. I remember the fact that he has invaded 2 countries before. I know for a fact that he's poisoned his own people. He doesn't believe in the worth of each individual. He doesn't believe in public dissent. I look forward to a dialogue. But there will be a consequence. We must anticipate problems before that comes. And strong in the value
might require
This is Vince McMahon. What the fuck?
preemptive action.
Okay, so George Bush announces we're going to war with Iraq.
Fellow citizens, at this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger. On my orders, coalition forces have begun striking selected targets of military importance to undermine Saddam Hussein's ability to wage war. These are opening stages of what will be a broad and concerted campaign. More than 35 countries are giving crucial support, from the use of naval and air bases to help with intelligence and logistics to the deployment of combat units. Every nation in this coalition has chosen to bear the duty and share the honor of serving in our common defense. To all the men and women of the United States Armed Forces now in the Middle East, the peace of a troubled world and the hopes of an oppressed people now depend on you. That trust is well placed. Americans and all with respect for its citizens of the innocent.
All right. Basically what he says is, Iraq got weapons of mass destruction. The timing is really important because most people, I would believe, don't give a fuck or wouldn't care where the fuck Iraq is. Nigga, this shit ain't Turks. Nigga, this shit ain't Dominican Republic. Nigga, this ain't Thailand where niggas can go get their lady boys. This shit ain't Jamaica. This shit ain't Mexico. This ain't, what the fuck is in Iraq? We don't give a fuck about Iraq. So, it's important that 2 years after the attacks on 9/11 that we then call we are doing a war on terrorism, it looks like we're seeking out where terrorists are. Except the terrorist niggas are a bunch of towelhead bums. They can't do shit. Let's keep it a bean, man. Bunch of bum-ass niggas, man. We killed every single one of them, man. Them niggas on t-shirts. Let's keep it 100. So now we start saying the terrorists are state-sponsored. They're state-sponsored, which means we get to make the governments of these countries that the terrorists might be in our ops. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So now, not only we say that, we start coming up with more theory. Well, y'all know they flew planes into the building. That's crazy. We need to look out for Iraq. They won't fly planes. They're going to get nuclear weapons. At that time, it's called weapons of mass destruction. Chat, I hate to tell y'all this, but we should go through it. If you don't know, I'm a biomathematics. I have a degree in biomathematics from Rutgers University. It's a fully science degree mixed with a fully mathematical degree. Not acting like I'm an expert here, but it's important for understanding because, again, I keep telling you most of these wars are propaganda. Like, so when you say certain things, when you say weapons of mass destruction, nigga, I always thought it was like the ray gun from Call of Duty. I'm like, yo, these niggas got a ray gun? How do these niggas get a ray gun? We're thinking it's some other shit, some cartoon shit. It's nuclear warheads. It's nuclear bombs. Okay? To give you a short history and a lesson here that you guys could understand quickly, the reason why nukes are so not only prolific, but it's constantly the conversation. The United States dropped 2 nuclear bombs that historically changed the course of history. After Pearl Harbor, we dropped a nuclear bomb in Hiroshima. Now, the term atomic bomb is the same as the nuclear bomb. Okay? It's the same process and theory. I'm going to explain it to you simply. Not only did it kill about a million people, the thing with a nuclear bomb compared to other bombs is that the after effects and the radiation caused by the bomb makes the place the bomb dropped and a huge radius unlivable to human life. If babies are conceived, people are born, or people keep living in that region, they will have severe faculty defects. Okay? I don't want to get into all of that type of stuff, but, you know, for you guys to understand, there's a lot of studies that show that an atomic bomb, you know, cause disfigurements. A bomb was dropped on Hiroshima and also on Nagasaki. Okay? The reason for these, it was prompted supposedly because of Pearl Harbor. Remember I told you they drop a bomb in Brooklyn, this world gonna look different. It's cool. Yo, we don't give a fuck about Tel Aviv and all these other places. Yo, they dropped one in Dubai. Who gives a fuck? Let one hit New York City and you see what popping out here, okay? So Japan did a military strike, a surprise one, on a naval base in Hawaii. Okay? Now, keep in mind, this is Hawaii, my nigga. It's like Honolulu and shit like that. Like, we're not even fucking talking about, like, Virginia. Like, we're talking about Hawaii, brother. Like, Hawaii. You get what I'm saying? Now, remember, that happened December 7th. And we reacted. Let me see, when was this? We reacted. Well, let me not get too hump on the dates. Years later, on August 1945, nuclear bombs are a thing. They haven't been used really prolifically in modern war. Many missiles and many, warheads are not nuclear for a particular reason. It's said that if everyone started firing nuclear missiles at each other, it would severely affect the human population because the radiation that would be continually lingering would make the world and these places unlivable for multiple generations. Okay? All right. Give me 1 second. Wait, did I fuck this up? Okay, no, I didn't. Okay. So, let me explain to you an atomic bomb. And an atomic bomb, that's a nuke. That's what we call it now. First and foremost, the United States has several. We have a bunch of them. We have a bunch of them in submarines, a bunch of them on planes at any time. There's a bunch of silos within the central United States that if we ever needed to fire a nuke at a country, the last rating, and most of this stuff is classified, is that these nukes fired from the middle of the United States, like Colorado and that area there, it could go 15,000 kilometers. Let me put that into miles. That's 9,320. There's supposedly only 20% of the world that we can't fire a nuke from right now in the United States and get to. We could get to pretty much anywhere. Okay? Sorry. We could fire a nuke from the middle of the United States. By the way, why is it in the middle? Because if any country, we treat the United States, if we go back to our map, we treat the United States, where our nukes are, is in this region. So, like, basically, you know, nigga can't just pop up at the beach in North Carolina and get to our nukes. You know what I mean? You gotta really invade us, which is kind of almost impossible to invade the United States based on, you know, just so many obstacles. But where are U.S. ground nuclear weapons located? They'll tell you it's located at these. Can you just tell me the states? What states have nuclear weapons? Okay, see, Montana, North Dakota, Wyoming, Washington, and Georgia. So right here, bang, Montana, Wyoming, right here. So I told you, like right here, we don't keep it on the coast, but right here. But they could fire a nuke from right here, 15,000 kilometers, 9,000 miles. If you don't know, from I'm just giving you a little bit of info. From New York to California is about 3,000 miles. So we could fire a fucking nuke from the United States to 3 United States away. So we fire one from here, we could get to Italy, Romania. We could even fire one and get to Iraq. We don't give a fuck, right? Now, obviously, the way how it works in the world, we're Dandada. We could have the nukes. You can't. Real nigga shit, right? Real nigga shit. Yo, we could have the nukes. You can't. No. Fuck no. Now, let me tell you this. The reason why we fucking dick slap so many of these countries around is because they don't have nukes. They don't even got nothing to threaten us with. Like, at the end of the day, we could threaten them. They can't threaten us. They don't got no nukes. We got them. We got them. You'll notice we'll invade every country. I'll tell you who we won't invade. Wait, where they at? Fuck. I'll tell you who we won't invade. Like, we'll just Twitter beef with them. Where they at? Am I tripping? Hold up. I'm going to tell you who we won't invade. And by the way, other people have nukes too. But the people we bitch around don't got nukes. We can't bitch around nobody that got nukes. Like, because they're going to be like, nigga, you try to do this bullshit one more time. Nigga, oh my God. North Korea, man. This is it right here, man. North Korea. We've been talking crazy to them. They've been talking crazy to us. We ain't been there once, nigga. Yo, we've been like, yo, we'll fuck you up. They be like, yo, we got a red button. Trump be like, yo, we got a bigger button. We ain't going over there at all, nigga. Straight up. North Korea, they got bombs. They got nukes. We've tried to tell them, hey, disarm. Get rid of your nukes. They said, fuck you, no. You know what we do? All right, we're not doing business with you. And nobody we're cool with don't do business with them either. They got the red button. Only us. We're the only ones supposed to have it. Okay? So, anybody with nuclear capability, which is Russia, China, North Korea, you realize we half tough with them. We half tough. We ain't full tough. We half tough. Like half tough. Because you know what? At some point when a nigga say, nigga, fuck you. Nigga, fuck you. Nigga, suck my dick. Nigga, suck my dick. Nigga, fuck your mother. Nigga, fuck your mother. Alright, I'm about to bomb your shit. Nigga, I'm about to bomb your shit. Alright, I'm sending a nuke. Nigga, I'm sending one to... Oh, my bad. I wasn't familiar with your game. My bad. So really, when niggas don't got nukes, nigga, y'all pussy. We just gonna make sure you never get nukes. That's the point. We just make sure you never get nukes. So we are bullies. Like, our thing is, we can't let nobody get nukes but us. Nigga, look at this. How many nuclear weapons does the U.S. have? Nigga, we have 5,000 nuclear warheads, nigga. We over here stressing that somebody gets one. Chat, we got 5,000. We don't want them pussy niggas to get one. Just think about it. We got 5,000. Yo, let one of them say, all right, we'll get rid of our nukes if you get rid of yours. Shut up, pussy. You can't tell us shit. The fuck? Imagine Iraq says, all right, we'll get rid of our nukes if you get rid of yours, USA. Shut up, bitch. Shut up. You can't tell us nothing, nigga. We run shit around here, nigga. Now, let me continue. And I'm going to go to Iran quickly, but let me keep with Iraq. I'm going to explain to you the technology used behind nukes and why, how prolific it is, how easy it is to get, how hard it is to get, and why now in the Iran thing, because this whole Iran thing kind of kicked off in 2018 after Trump pretty much ripped up like an agreement. I'll get to it. So, nuclear weapons. There was a scientist, forgot his name. I'll look it up. What scientist invented the atomic bomb? Okay. Yes. J. Robert Oppenheimer. Okay. He was essentially the father of the atomic bomb. I don't want to get too scientific here with you guys, but again, I'm a science major, but I'm going to try to make it very understandable to you. Let me see. I just want to make sure I was right. Okay, great. Okay, so cool. So, to quickly explain this phenomenon, which, by the way, it's kind of ironic how modern scientific advancement comes during times of war. When the countries were in a arms race and they were trying to find the best weapons. Of course, you were having people saying, well, we could have chemical weapons. We could do this. Someone came up with an atomic bomb. I'm going to explain it to you. But first, because I am a science guy, I got to bring up something you may have not seen since school, which is the periodic table. Now, the periodic table, okay? Okay. All right. So this is a periodic table. Again, y'all may have not seen this for a while. I'm going to explain to you so many things in one. Don't worry. I'm not going to make it too complicated. This is a periodic table. You guys don't have to care much about it, but the very concept is these are pure atoms, right? An atom is basically, as it would be depicted, it's not really that, like a circle of, the very essence of everything, gas, matter, liquid, anything, and solids, whatever. And the atoms that are on the periodic table, you would have to combine atoms to make things. Like, for example, when it comes to oxygen, right, that we breathe, it's two of these. So it's two oxygen, O2. It's two oxygens combined together, and that creates the gas that we breathe and we can live through, right? When it comes to water, it's H2O, which is, for example, two hydrogens mixed with a oxygen, and that's the liquid that we need to, drink and survive, right? Interesting. Not going to get too much into it. By the way, there's a lot more we could get into later on, even when, I don't know if you guys think about life on potential other planets. Some of this stuff is so fascinating. When you think about, like, say, a submarine actually creates water and air, which is so crazy. It creates water and air. It creates drinking water and air underwater. This is why they could stay. Like, you ever seen a submarine? It don't bring a water tank, and it don't bring air. They could create, so underwater, they could create water and air by fucking around with the electrons, not electrons, but with the atoms, and doing some processes. One is electrolysis, and the other one is, it's electrolysis to create both. But they take water, that's seawater, and they could separate that and create oxygen that becomes breathable. Then they could separate, it's already water, but they could do certain things to make the water, which is seawater, it's a little bit different composition, make that drinkable. So underwater, they could extract air out of water, which is fucking phenomenal, right? Okay. Yeah, I'm not trying to get too complicated, but I'm trying to, give y'all a little bit of some good shit. So not only that, which also we'll get to nuclear power because nuclear power runs submarines too. But at the very basis of what nukes are, initially it was a bomb. And the idea was, let's get one of these atoms, and I don't know if you've ever been in science class and you've seen like a reaction, like you put this compound and this compound and they fucking react. The idea was, if a bomb is supposed to be an explosion, how could we get the most violent explosion? Right? That's the idea behind any bomb. So one of the most violent explosion was tampering with these atoms. And what became really important is it's listed as 92 on the periodic table. Let's find it. And 92 is here. It's called uranium. Okay? Now, uranium is a very important atom that they realize, number one, there is uranium that's a natural mineral in the Earth's core. So if you mine enough, you could get uranium. Okay? When you have pure uranium, you could undergo a process where, again, I'm not trying to get too complicated, and there's two types of it. You could get an isotope of it was 235, but whatever. Where you throw neutrons at it. And if you guys don't know, again, I'm giving a little bit of a chemistry lesson here too. An atom, whether it be hydrogen or uranium or oxygen, it's made up of three things. It has a core, there's a nucleus, right? That contains protons and neutrons. And then there's an orbit of electrons. Together, it's stable because the electrons, if there's 15 electrons, there's 15 protons. Protons are positive, electrons are negative. It makes this thing a stable thing. Usually, to create a reaction, you have to remove a proton or electron, usually electrons, because those are the things that's not in the nucleus, and you could trigger a reaction. I know, I feel like I'm like going too much like Rutgers with y'all, but that's pretty much how you create a reaction. What they realized with nuclear, a nuke or a bomb or atomic bomb, if you get uranium and you put them together and then trigger a bunch of sequential reactions by throwing or putting together a lot of neutrons there, what will end up happening is that essentially it will trigger a very wild but a extreme reaction that in terms of war is a bomb. It's one of the most extreme reactions. So once you get that, that becomes the core of how a nuclear bomb is made. Okay? Now, ironically, just to give y'all some context, these days people have taken that, and that's what I'm saying, good things come from war. The idea of a nuclear bomb or atomic bomb is what's powering these AI joints now, because people are creating nuclear reactors. So when you do a nuclear bomb, a nuke, you do all of these, like, it's a chain of reactions and it blows up and kills 250,000 people. But if you slow it down, because it's just energy, that's what it is. When these things happen, it's a release of energy. When the release is so quick, it's a bomb. When the release is really slow, you could actually table it and you could actually use it for electricity. Ironic, right? So essentially, the same technology or the same thing that's used for nuclear power plants is actually what people use for nuclear bombs. It's just used differently, right? And subsequently, even now, like most of our submarines are ran through a nuclear reactor, which is going to slow down that reaction that it doesn't turn to a bomb, but that it turns to heat, and that heat is then electricity. Okay? I feel like a teacher now. I kind of am. All right. Which ironically, people still have had fear. There's Chernobyl. That was a nuclear reactor that actually melted down, and it did a lot of shit, killed a lot of people actually. But whatever. People are a little bit better with the technology, and anyway, that's how nukes are used. So we now have nuclear power plants, but the idea of nukes still use the same formula, which is use uranium and put it in a way that you could have a reaction if you want to make a bomb really quickly, if you want to power millions of houses really slowly, and that's how powerful it is. Why did I give you that lesson? Because for me to give you that lesson, it's for me to try to help you understand and explain a little bit away from the propaganda that the government is giving us. Even back then in 2003. And yes, I was just like you, where I'm like, well, they said weapons of mass destruction. But if you understand that for you to get a nuke, you need this actual rare mineral, right? You need uranium. And you need it to be pure. Very pure. Actually, the purity factor is 90%. It's not easy to get. It has to be mined for whatever. There's a lot of moving parts. And it's just not the uranium. There's a whole thing for a nuclear bomb. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because it kind of seems unreasonable, or it doesn't seem feasible that if we know how this bomb is created, why would we think niggas got it that don't have the parts to make it? Do you get what I'm saying? Iraq didn't really have the parts to make it. Were they looking into it? Yes. They didn't got the parts. It's like saying a nigga got a car, but he don't got the wheels and he don't got no engine. What does he have? That becomes the problem here. So that's where we get some propaganda shit. So maybe that's one of the reasons you're putting out, but in reality, some of the reason is Israel, some of the reason is controlling that area, some of the reason is regime change. At that point, Saddam, who we may have helped during the Iran situation, we want him out of there. So we just came up with a motherfucking reason. So that's what happened in 2003 with Iraq. Iran has been suffering for decades because we put sanctions on them. Remember, we're no longer friends. We put sanctions on them. We try to be friends with Iraq, but then we see something else is up, and then we have to put our foot on their neck too. So Iran, what's going on in Iran? And by the way, I'm going to get back to the periodic table. It still matters. I ain't just say for no reason. So Iran, this motherfucker over here, Iran is suffering. They can't do business. They got oil. They can't sell it to many people. We have sanctions on them. If anybody does business with them, we beefing with you. All of our friends don't fuck with them. All of our friends can't send them things they need. There's no trade. It's important and it's powerful when we're the big fish in a pond. If we say don't do business with A, whether buy from them or sell to them, our sanctions become crippling over time. The people are going to learn, hey, you can't get cars, you can't get this, you can't get these parts, you can't get that. This is going to cost way a lot because you got to get it from one place that's down to sell it. You can't really. Our sanctions become crippling. This is my man, Myron. I know I said Myron. Myron.
Yeah, I see you're talking about Iran.
Yeah. Listen, you want to hear it? Listen, because I had to become damn near a little semi-expert. I've been studying shit for 2 days to explain to these motherfuckers. I told them, I said, yo, listen, I'm not big into world politics, but I'm a good storyteller. So I'll get enough info to tell the story, but...
What you, bro? If you want, I can hop online and we can discuss it if you want.
Oh, no, of course. Hop on right now. I'm on Discord.
All right, give me a sec. I'm gonna fire up my stream and we'll cook. All right.
I bet.
All right, I'll be right on.
Cool. Okay, so cool. I'm gonna make this a little bit shorter because I know Myron's gonna come on. He's gonna give us some good game. So, Iran is in this interesting, like they're not doing good. We're starving them out. What ends up happening is that we come to a deal with Iran. Okay? And the deal, U.S.-Iran nuclear deal. The deal is called the JCPOA. It's called the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. And the agreement was finalized in 2015. So keep in mind, like, they're going through it, right? We're done with Iraq, but they're still going through it. And they come to a deal with us in 2015. And they said that, hey, listen, under this agreement, we aren't going to build nukes. We're not even going to try to have a nuclear programming, okay? We're not going to get like some fuel grade stuff that would be considered like in the nuclear realm. We're going to just stick to some other shit over there, right? For that, okay, so and basically they said they won't get to a certain level of uranium enrichment, okay? Now, I got to explain it to you because it's going to matter later. One of the reasons we got mad at them again recently, it was reported that they were at 60% uranium enrichment. It requires them to be like 90%. So when they're at 90%, they could make a nuke. But they were at 60%, but when you're at 60%, it could take a couple of months for you to consolidate and like kind of get the rawness out of it and turn that into 90%. But they recently they have gotten some nuke shit going on. But they didn't make a nuke, or they weren't even close to doing it supposedly yet. But that's another story. Anyway, here's the point. So in 2015, we come to a deal with Iran. We're no longer friends, but we could come to a deal. We're going to like lift all of our sanctions and they're not going to get no nukes. This is 2015. Okay? Now what happens in 2018, Trump withdraws from the deal. He said it was a horrible one-sided deal and it failed to protect U.S. national security. He initiated by the reimposition with heavy economic sanctions. So he says, cancel the deal. We're back giving y'all sanctions. The country was starting to bounce back because they could do business again. But Trump declared that the U.S. would cease participation and impose more sanctions. Okay, he says it was defective at the core, saying that there was sunset clauses, which means that over time they could go back to doing the same shit. There was lack of restrictions on maybe the ballistic missile program, which is different from nuclear, but ballistic missile programs is what they would be doing a lot. Keep in mind, they want to have an arsenal for their own enemies, and when we think about their own enemies, who's going to be their enemies in that region? Potentially Israel. Because ballistic missiles, like we could look at the range for ballistic missiles. How far usually can ballistic missiles travel? Yeah, 62. Like again, it could go, let's say 6,000 miles, right? that'll be ballistic missiles could hit Israel, right? None of that could hit the United States. We all the way over here. We're good. So really, ballistic missiles shouldn't concern us, to keep it real. It shouldn't. Ballistic missiles should not concern us. But we still give a fuck. It's a little odd, but whatever, cool. Right? Remember, we have guaranteed they got no missiles that could hit over here. But we still on their head top. Anyway. Okay. Yeah. Now, a lot of people felt like Iran did not violate this whole thing. Like, they didn't violate the agreement. And they felt like Trump was being a little bit of a bully. Right? And some other people felt like, now you're doing this for Israel, my nigga. Like, yo, bro, stop it. Like, cut it out. Like, you're doing this. You made this deal that was supposedly your sanctions against them that they don't fuck you up possibly with nukes. When you got 5,000, they only got one. Okay, cool. They said they'll stop trying to develop their one. And y'all have a deal that you're now allowing people to work with them. But then you come back in saying, oh, they're violating the deal with ballistic missiles. Ballistic missiles aren't really even threats to y'all. Then people are like, no, you're just doing it for Israel because they're in the region, right? Israel. Cool. All right. That happens. And then, obviously there's some other interregional stuff. I'll leave that for Myron to come on and explain. But there was news and a lot of like conversation in the last, year or two that Iran that they had reached uranium enrichment of 60%. So the technical step is 90%. But as early as 2026, what Iran started doing, because even the deal was broken, they still was trying to be like, hey, we're still not violating even though you pulled from the deal. So basically, in the deal, they weren't not allowed to have uranium enriched at all. It just had to be below a certain percentage. So reports were they had a stockpilage that were 60%. Okay? So the idea was, it's like having half a gun built or having the gun 60% built. But if you hear the other niggas about to come shoot you, you could just finish making a gun. So the U.S., supposedly, we don't like the fact that they have 60% or 60 out of 90% of the shit they need to make a bomb. And theoretically, it could take months to get from 60 to 90%. So we feel they're close, so we feel we got to do some shit. I know. It's starting to feel like we're just more than bullies, but okay. So that was the thing. Our relationship got a little bit worse when apparently one of their generals, a nigga named Soleimani or some bullshit, he was an Iranian military officer. What he did was, number one, he's been doing a whole bunch of stuff around the region, Hezbollah, all type of bullshit, Syria, But importantly, he was designated terrorist in 2005, and importantly, He did something that affected the United States. I can't remember what it was. Or I think he had bombed like one of the United States like bases or something like that. Anyway, the point is this. Trump wasn't having that shit, nigga. And killed him like a fucking dog. Okay? So, this sounds crazy, but like this is some real shit. The dude went to like some meeting. And like he was in like some fucking army convoy or whatever. He went to some meeting like in the city. I think in Tehran. And when he was leaving, supposedly they had spotted a drone in the area. Basically, USA kept the drone in Iran the whole fucking day till a nigga went to his meeting, and when they were leaving, bombed all them niggas, killed all them niggas, straight up. Like, yo, imagine a nigga just like doing that to like your fucking governor. You'd be like, what the fuck is happening? Nigga, we just kept the fucking drone. We just kept the drone in the area, nigga, and killed that nigga, bro. Just murdered him. Soleimani killed. Look, how was he assassinated? Look at this shit.
According to the FBI, 501 started its engine down the runway.
Okay, we don't need to hear this. This is look.
Presented itself.
Okay, listen.
Drives back through the cargo gate.
All right, here we go.
In total,
Here we go.
leading out of the airport. As the convoy proceeds, one of the Reaper drones arms its Hellfire missiles and tracks the movement of Soleimani's group. The drone operators state.
Yo, chat, this is why we the big bad wolves. Think about this. How you the leader of the fucking armed forces in that fucking country, and we got a drone tracking you, nigga? Like, how you that lit, nigga? You can't. Yo, bro, it's like, imagine you work for Apple and their head of security gets his iPhone hacked. Like, come on, bruv. Yo, how are you the military head and you getting tracked by drones, gang? So, yo, come on, look.
In Nevada await the final order to strike.
Yo.
The vehicles are about.
You know what the funny part about this? There's a nigga playing the PlayStation in Nevada that killed him. Wee. Yo, a nigga, he playing Claw. That's a nigga, the nigga who clapped him is playing the drone like eternity away. You see why these other countries don't want to fuck with us?
About to merge onto the highway leading toward downtown Baghdad when the command.
How you the fucking general and we follow you with a fucking airplane and you don't be like, what the fuck is that up there? Yo, what is that? What is that shit?
Is given.
We followed the nigga to his meeting. We escorted him straight up.
Reaper drone fires 3 Hellfire missiles, 2 targeting the lead vehicle, which carries Soleimani and al-Mohandes, and 1 aimed at the following SUV. At 12:40 a.m., the missiles hit their targets with deadly precision, obliterating both vehicles and eliminating all of the occupants. In total, 10 people are lost their lives in the strike, including Soleimani, al-Mohandes, and 5 members of Iran's elite Revolutionary Guard. Following the successful strike, the drones immediately exit the airspace and their surveillance duties are taken over by 3 F-18 Super Hornets. Although the air traffic control tower requests that the fighter jets also leave the area, 1 Super Hornet remains on station to dock.
Yo, we at their airport, nigga. Hey, could y'all American planes leave? Yo, this is our airport. Nigga, shut the fuck up, nigga. Nigga, we here, nigga. Shut the fuck up. We done smoked that nigga. We might smoke you next. Straight up. That's how we rocking. Yes. Nigga, we just, hey, request for y'all to leave our airspace. Nigga, eat a dick.
Which carries Soleimani and al-Mohandes, and 1 aim.
Clapped him.
Including.
Clapped him. I like how, look, y'all ever heard how Trump talked about this nigga? Trump is, he talked about this nigga. Look at this. I like when he said we killed him like a dog. Look at this.
He died like a dog. He died like a coward. He was whimpering, screaming.
No. Nah, this wasn't Soleimani. My bad. Nah, this was ISIS nigga. Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you. Yo, Trump better stay his ass in the United States when he get out of. Yo, they want this nigga dead. They want this nigga dead. Look, this was isolated.
A great night for the United States and for the world. A brutal kill has violently been eliminated.
Look at this.
He died like a dog. He died like a coward.
Oh, nah. All right, let's go to what he said, Soleimani. Big Trump, bro.
Well, thank you very much and good afternoon. As president, my highest and most solemn duty is the defense of our nation and its citizens. Last night, at my direction, the United States military successfully executed a flawless precision strike that killed the #1 terrorist anywhere in the world,
Whoa.
Qasem Soleimani. Soleimani was plotting imminent and sinister attacks on American diplomats and military personnel, but we caught him in the act and terminated him. Under my leadership, America's policy is unambiguous to terrorists who harm or intend to harm any American. We will find you. We will eliminate you. We will always protect our diplomats, service members, all Americans, and our allies. For years,
Clown
the
that nigga.
Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, and today we remember and honor the victims to start a war. I have deep respect for the Iranian people. They are threatened. We have all.
All right, now I like when he clown these niggas. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I like, that nigga say he died like a dog, man. Straight up. Straight up. Like, okay, anyway. Oh, you said he was a monster? Oh, I like that.
Designated by President Obama. That was his much roadside bombs and all of an attack based on what they did. We weren't the Fed. I and my people, and we have a whole group of people, and as you see, they brought a lot of great representatives. That was when I.
Nah, Trump's a straight gangster, man. I fuck with him. Now, granted, I know some of y'all, because y'all like your act, call my. Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think Trump doing this shit for Israel. Straight up. I don't like it. I don't like it. But I'm American, gang. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, go switch sides? What the fuck? Nigga, we the winning team. Like, I don't like this shit. Yo, like, low key. Yo, we violating Iran right now. And it's straight for Israel. Like, bruv, I'm gonna keep it a bean. Like, this whole thing, oh, they had nukes. Man, stop it. We doing it for Israel. I don't like it. You shouldn't like it. But Israel runs the country. Like, Israel runs us. Like, you feel me? We can't do nothing. Like, that's it. So, you know what I mean? Fuck it. Like, bro, what do you want me to do? Like, go protest? What the fuck? Like, nigga, I'm with the winning team. Fuck all that shit. But I'll say that. Israel, 100%. We bombed them niggas for them. Now, here's the thing. Oh, okay. So, that's why we murdered that nigga. The Soleimani, no. So that's why we murdered their supreme leader. So remember, it's not only killing them. Like, we gangster. We could kill anybody in these little countries whenever we want. We want to kill them and make it seem like the people are picking their new leader. That's how a coup works. You can't force a regime in. Otherwise, you're going to have to do it via the military, and that actually becomes a military occupation. So you got to do it and kind of make them feel like they're doing it, right? So essentially what we doing, Trump is using certain words like, yo, take back your country. Why? Recently, there's been a lot of protest. So we did wait till a good time. So it has been really tumultuous for that leader, okay? So we did wait for a good time, but I still think Israel picked the time, and I am going to cap with you because it feels like it's helping them out the most. We're trying to have them establish a new leader, and of course, the new leader they pick gonna be our bitch. Straight up. Yo, Iran, y'all ain't never gonna rule yourself. We run y'all niggas. Fuck out of here. Let's keep it 100, man. Yo, we don't want no Iran running itself. Yo, Iran, like, yo, y'all dumbass niggas. We run y'all niggas. Facts. Iran, Iraq, all y'all niggas, we run y'all shit. Y'all keep acting up. Regime change. Act up again. Regime change. Act up, man, man, change this shit. That's how we get down. I'm being honest. If the government can't listen to us and be on their hands and knees to suck our cock, we don't want them. We run shit over there. Fuck what y'all niggas got going on. That's what it is. We done kidnap a nigga. You know what they were saying? Man, it's easy for y'all to do that shit over there in Venezuela. Man, them niggas only got machetes. They don't got nothing. Man, y'all could do whatever in Mexico. Y'all can't come over here with this. Nigga, what? All right, kill that nigga right now. Nigga, you see how they killed that? They killed us. Look, how U.S. troops killed the supreme leader of Iran. Nigga, we dropped 16 bombs on the nigga, bro. Nigga, y'all gotta see this shit. We dropped 16 bombs. Like, how the fuck? If y'all knew, like, you know what I be thinking? If y'all knew we could drop 16 fucking bombs on y'all, why the fuck y'all even play?
Chance for generations. For many years, you have asked for America's help, but you never got it. No president was willing to do what I am willing to do tonight.
Oh, shit.
Now you have a president who is giving you what you want. So let's see how you respond.
President Donald Trump's message to the Iranian people today after joint U.S.-Israeli airstrikes on the country overnight. These new images released today from the Pentagon show the Trump administration in the Situation Room during Operation Epic Fury. Iranian state media is saying over 200 people were killed in the strikes today. Thanks for joining us here on this busy Saturday evening. I'm Alex Dieterer. The president and multiple Israeli...
Yo, let me tell you this. Trump and them, they demons, bro. Supposedly, they start bombing Iran, and these you know, if something happened in the United States, they put all the leaders like in some bunker down below the ground. Like, they get them the fuck out. Like, you can't capture them niggas, right? Yo, we start bombing Iran. Them stupid ass niggas went to link up to have a meeting. Yo, what the nigga? We been you about the meeting, nigga. We bombed the meeting too. The fuck? Get them out of there, everybody. Straight up.
Official.
Myron grabbing a monster, man. He grabbed a monster. He finna come on. So, supposedly we start bombing the country. All of these dummies link up, and we just bomb them and kill them too. I ain't gonna lie, treacherous. By the way, again, it's not like I like war and murder, but I just gotta let you know I'm Team USA. I'm sorry. Y'all not gonna get me. You know, there's some people who are born here or who are American citizens like, oh man, fuck America. I'm like, all right, nigga. Yeah, okay. Nigga, I want to be on the side where bombs never drop, but we drop them. I'm sorry. I don't like that Trump's doing it. I'll denounce it. Trump, please stop. We should stop being Israel bitches. I don't like it, but I'm glad I'm on this team. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I'm glad I'm on this team. Yo, we up by 80? I'm glad I'm on this team. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie. Trump, please stop listening to Israel. But you know what? I'm glad I'm on the team still. I don't care. I'm sorry.
Say Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei,